And turned in by Barry Jones. 1-0 to Liverpool. Still Beardsley, Molby. And in 65 seconds of the second half, Liverpool have scored twice.
Molby for Liverpool, and Harkness was to add another. It was to finish 3-0, and Everton went out. And Liverpool now played Aston Villa for a place in the final.
Gray back to Cowans. Foul given against Tanner on Cascarino. No. And Tanner is sent to the sin bin for the foul. 2 minutes out of the game for Nicky Tanner. So the power play now for Aston Villa. And it'll be interesting to see how they play it. Cascarino. We've seen... Oh, came back into Muggleton's hands quite comfortably. We've seen one goal scored tonight against a short-handed team, but there haven't been many in the competition overall. Molby. 1-0. Molby followed his own wall pass in and got the benefit. Now Cascarino. Support for him from David Jones. Cascarino, great save from Muggleton, point blank. And Cascarino got the full force of his left foot behind it. Little touch from Hutchison for Beardsley didn't come off. This is Gray. Cascarino's shot and the rebound for Jones, and Jones couldn't put it away. Villa have had the chances. Cascarino. Liverpool player couldn't come back to challenge. It would have made 6 in the Liverpool half, and that's a sin bin offence. Jones' shot was blocked by Payne. Cowans for Aston Villa. Gray to his right, Cascarino to his left, and the shot goes through Muggleton, and that's 1-1. Gordon Cowans has been due one. Whenever he's seen the goal, he's let fly, and he's hit shots with great power. And the left foot that time was just too strong for the goalkeeper. Oh, what an unbelievable save from Cascarino by Muggleton. Well, he made one in the first half that was from only 2 or 3 feet. That can only mean from inches.
1 minute coming up on the clock now.
We're in the last minute. York has the ball for Villa. A goal would put them through. But if it stays 1-1, Liverpool will go into the playoff on goal difference. Looked like just a relieving anywhere, but it's come to Beardsley from the mistake by Comin. Beardsley against 2 defenders and the goalkeeper, and hit the boards, went for the rebound, but it wasn't there for him. Last half minute we're in. Molby. Got a player in the sin bin, Tony Cascarino, for having come out of the Liverpool half. And so we've got a power play for Liverpool. Aston Villa short-handed, only 12 seconds remaining, and the odds now favouring the league champions. Beardsley with the ball, 2 seconds remaining, and there's the hooter, and Liverpool go to the playoff having drawn 1-1 with Aston Villa by virtue of a better goal difference.
In confirmation of that, a draw, 1 apiece, so Liverpool the first qualifiers for the final on goal difference.
There's the Liverpool team for the Soccer Six final. The players highlighted in white are the 6 who start the match, and Jan Molby and Peter Beardsley have certainly been very instrumental in the way Liverpool have played so far. As for Luton Town, well, the goals have been coming thick and fast, certainly from David Priest and Ian Dowie, and of course the Danish international Lars Elstrup is there as well. So it's 7.5 minutes each way. Should it be a draw, there would be a penalty shootout. It's Liverpool in red, it's Luton Town in white, and there's a good atmosphere for this Guinness Soccer Six final in the G-Mex Centre. Even though the local team, Manchester United, have gone out, the crowd have stayed to see what happens here between two teams who have met in cup football before. Here's David Priest looking for Lars Elstrup, notably on the artificial surface at Luton, where I remember Liverpool losing a cup tie once, so we'll see what happens tonight. A little bit of ill feeling early on between David Priest and the Liverpool number 5, Don Hutchison. Here's Priest again. Number 3 is Julian James for Luton. And number 5, Priest, has directed most of their play in the earlier matches. Dowie. Here's Elstrup. Oh, that's a good effort. And the hero for Liverpool in their second group match was undoubtedly Carl Muggleton, the goalkeeper who's on loan from Leicester City. And he was called into action pretty quickly there too. It's a corner taken by Priest. Here's Dowie. Lars Elstrup. And now James. Luton setting up play early on. Peter Beardsley left on his own in the other half because, of course, you have to keep one man up there in Soccer Six. Here's Elstrup for Luton. Muggleton down by the post. Jan Molby. Here's Nicky Tanner. Beardsley combining with Molby. And bear in mind that although Luton have a certain advantage, which there'll be even more of one now because there's going to be a sin bin. And off goes Don Hutchison into the sin bin for the challenge. He'll be off for 2 minutes and David Priest goes with him. So both teams are down to 5 men following a little scuffle there. Joe Worrell has sent both players for a 2-minute cooling down period. Luton do have an advantage of playing on this sort of surface regularly, but then again Liverpool have had a longer rest since their last game, so it should be about even really. And they've even evened things up as well with that double sin bin. It's all pretty physical down there. That was Lars Elstrup. Beardsley really has enjoyed himself tonight. This is Molby. They've got Tony Cousins free up front, number 8. And out comes 21-year-old Andy Pettersson, the goalkeeper who paid his own fare over from Australia and asked Luton for a trial and has since signed a professional contract. Both teams still down to 5 men. Players in the sin bin are signing autographs presently. Back on the pitch, it's Jan Molby. Beardsley to his left. Beardsley using the boards well. Cousins unable to latch onto the rebound, though. This is Kingsley Black for Luton. To number 10, David Beaumont. Beaumont. Oh, it's been touched in by Farrell. What a piece of quick thinking. Sean Farrell just managed to stick a foot out and divert a shot from Beaumont that was probably going wide past the goalkeeper to put Luton Town in the lead. With 3 minutes gone in the first half, Luton are ahead. And for Farrell, that's his 4th goal of the night, and it means he's now level with Tony Cascarino as the top scorer for the tournament. Forward by Beardsley, and there's a good save by the goalkeeper from Steve Harkness, who tried to squeeze it underneath Hutchison's body. Harkness on the ball again now. All this happening with the team still down to 5 players owing to the banishment to the sin bin of the 2 number 5s, but they're coming back on now. There they go. Don Hutchison and David Priest. Oh, well played by Kingsley Black. Now it's Dowie. Priest on the far side. Luton have brought Dreyer back on from the bench. Priest. Oh, a chance here for Black. Underside of the bar, they're appealing. Dowie gets up with the header. Referee says no goal. Kingsley Black's effort coming back off the underneath of the crossbar. Dreyer for Luton. Well, it's bubbling up into quite a good final, this. It's 1-0 to Luton Town. Farrell the scorer. And that's forward by Nicky Tanner. Jan Molby gets a foot in. No one else with him there for Liverpool at present. They've got Jones coming up now, number 2. And now Black. Julian James to John Dreyer, the Luton captain. Now Beardsley. First time ball meant for Molby. And Beardsley once more. Molby. Beardsley to his right. Jan Molby tries to go all the way. And those two really have put an awful lot into it tonight, Molby and Beardsley. The two recognised first-teamers among the outfield players. Whereas Luton's team is also young, but probably with more league experience overall. Here's Elstrup, who's got international experience, of course. And this is Priest. We've got 2 Danish internationals out there in Elstrup and this man, Molby. Beardsley makes a darting run to his left. It's come to Jones. Harkness. Minute and a half left in the first half of the final. Luton Town lead Liverpool by a 1-0. Scored by their number 6, Sean Farrell. And Jimmy Ryan, the manager, Dave Galley, the physio, on the far side. And John Faulkner nearest to us. That's the Luton management team. And they'll be pretty pleased with the way things are going so far. Number 8 is Elstrup. Now it's Priest. At the back there, Julian James. Beardsley gets the tackle in. Finds Molby. Now here's Harkness, Beardsley, Molby. Harkness. We're in the last 45 seconds of the first half. It's Peter Beardsley trying to find a way through for Liverpool. Molby may do so. Beardsley again, Molby. Richard Harvey over there, grappling with Beardsley. Eventually he beats him. Well, the use of substitutes, a very important part of Soccer Six. Beaumont's just come back on for Luton as they switch their players around. Priest. Farrell's still out there hunting for goals on his own up front for Luton. Beaumont. We're approaching half-time. And the score is 1-0 to Luton Town, thanks to number 6, 21-year-old Sean Farrell, who's made a bit of a name for himself tonight. And Kingsley Black. And the Luton team could have made it 2-0, but Black's shot came back off the bar. As the second half started, Ronny Rosenthal came on for Liverpool to add some bite to their attack and see if he can find a way back into this final for them. He's wearing number 9, the Israeli international. Here's the Luton number 9, Kingsley Black. Beaumont. Dowie. Is well played. Dreyer looking for Farrell. It's Dreyer again. And it was Jones who intercepted. Barry Jones setting up Liverpool, but Rosenthal beaten by Beaumont. This is Black. Now are Luton going to continue to adapt to this surface that they know so well? Here's Dreyer. Oh, and Farrell a second chance. Not this time. Or are Liverpool going to come strong in the second half, bearing in mind they had a longer rest than Luton? Here's Rosenthal after their last group match. Perhaps a sign of tiredness might creep in as the second half wears on. It's pretty hectic stuff out there, hence the number of substitutions. Dreyer. Dowie. And Luton, in fact, changing players over just about all the time now. Except for Farrell, who's still the main striker. Just as Rosenthal is for Liverpool. That's a three-line ball. Struck from 1/3 of the field to the other defending third, with the ball not bouncing or touching anybody in between. Jimmy Ryan out of a breather. It's going to be an indirect free kick. And again, Luton switching their players over. This is Richard Harvey. And Peter Beardsley's now back on for Liverpool. Luton lead by 1-0 in this Soccer Six final. Harvey. Priest. Elstrup saw some space there. Oh, and Harvey. Elstrup! Yes, it's 2-0! It's 2-0 to Luton. Lars Elstrup. Jimmy Ryan's team have a good lead now. Elstrup, who scored 10 goals in senior football this season, now makes his mark in the six-a-side game. Well-worked move by Luton. And Liverpool have just over 5 minutes to do something about this. They're 2 down now. And Luton very much calling the shots. It's Elstrup again. Harvey. I think there were one or two smart investors who backed Luton before play started on Monday night, thinking that the artificial surface would be good for them for obvious reasons. It's working out that way. Here's Priest. Also, they've worked the substitution rule very cleverly, Luton, I've noticed. They're making far more changes than Liverpool. Just giving players a couple of minutes and then a breather. In it goes from James to Black. Back again to Harvey. Now it's Priest. And when you're 2 up, if you can keep possession, you are in charge. And Liverpool can't get the ball at the moment. Oh, well played again. It's Kingsley Black now. Oh, Julian James. Muggleton, no. Yes, he scored, James. He got a second bite at that, did Julian James. Muggleton couldn't steer the ball away, and Luton Town go 3-0 up here. James going round the goalkeeper and then still managed to turn the shot in. At the other end, Beardsley's gone close for Liverpool, but the score remains 3-0 to Luton. Farrell, Elstrup and James the scorers. Well, surely now with, 3.5 minutes to go, Luton have one hand on the Soccer Six trophy. Molby for Liverpool. Number 6 is Russell Payne for Liverpool, 20 years old. Came from Skelmersdale. Now here's Beaumont for Luton. Oh, well played by Priest. He's got Farrell square and unmarked. Didn't need him. Well, it's all Luton now. David Priest reflecting just how well they've played and how much confidence they've shown. He had an option to his left, but as the goalkeeper went down, Priest just slotted the ball in himself to make it 4. Beardsley for Liverpool. And that's well over from Tony Cousins. So Priest takes his personal total for the tournament to 4. So along with Farrell and Cascarino, he's now the joint leading scorer. And here come Luton again with Richard Harvey. Just over 2.5 minutes left. 4-0. Molby. And rather think Liverpool have done what they can, and it hasn't been enough because Luton are completely overwhelming them at the moment. This is Harvey. It's fast and accurate. The movement is excellent by Luton. It's the way Soccer Six really should be played. It's a great exhibition. Dowie. And there's perhaps more to come here. Harvey. Just under 2 minutes left. 4-0. Luton lead Liverpool. Dowie. Beaumont. And Liverpool are just, well, walking around almost admiring it. They just can't get into it at all. James. Pity Liverpool didn't see fit to play 1 or 2 more senior men, because it would have made a much better final in terms of experience. Luton are absolutely strolling it. This is Dowie. Priest. James. Dowie. Oh, and Muggleton just got it out with his feet in the end. About a minute left. And Luton Town's name certain now to go on the Soccer Six trophy. Jimmy Ryan, who kept them in the first division last season, will see this as a prestigious performance. And also, financially, a very favourable result for Luton too, because they're going to win something in excess of £50,000 here altogether. Here's Priest. Rebound didn't quite favour Farrell. Good save by Muggleton. 30 seconds to go as Russell Payne makes a charge for Liverpool. Dreyer. Well, Liverpool had no answer to this at all. A well-beaten side in the final, as Luton's experience, both in terms of the surface and in the terms of their players, pays off to the tune of 4-0. Emphatic, enterprising and enjoyable, that display by Luton Town, and it nets the club £52,500, money they picked up for coming on Monday, winning that particular night and winning again in the final this evening. The Guinness Soccer Six champions of 1990 are Luton Town, who beat Liverpool 4-0 in the final.
And a very happy Luton squad who come away from the G-Mex Centre with that big prize money cheque and join former winners Charlton and Nottingham Forest.